Hello and welcome to the Nature's Rhythms December update, where we take a look at where we are in the wheel of the year and how we can really harness the energy of this time to stay on track with creating a life that we really love, and also add some more tools and techniques into our toolkit so we can thrive through the next few months. So right now we're at the end of autumn, the very end of autumn, where we've had that time of reflection. We've had a time to let go, to decompose, to reflect. And this very end part now, we're heading towards the winter, we're heading towards the solstice now. The days are getting shorter and shorter, energy's drawing in, everything's going back to the earth, to the still point. And this is a really good time now. You've already been peeling back the layers. You're getting clearer and clearer. We've been letting go of things that no longer serve us. And what we're doing is we're getting down and down and down into that place where the diamond sits. So we've been polishing the diamond throughout this time. And we're going to our core essence to have a look at what is it that lights us up? What is it that creates a feeling of joy and aliveness and contentment with life? What's you in your element? My name's Leanne Campbell. I'm a life and wellbeing coach, and I'm also co-creator of a Handpicked Life, which is a membership platform that's life coaching specializing with somatic practices. So we really get into the body in order to create lasting change. And what we're going to have a look at now in this session is how you can really get into the depths of you, because often we're really clear about what we don't want, what we're ready to throw away, what we'd like to move away from. But what we often don't know is, what is it do I want to put in its place? And the only way we can know that is to understand what lights us up. So what is it that drives you? What is really important to you? How do you want to feel? How do you want to live? And so the beauty of this time of year, just as we're going into the dream time where we really begin to create, is it's time for any unfinished business. It's time to wrap things up gently before we go to a still point. And it's time to have a look at what really is important to you. So we live in a culture that really values action, creation, extrinsic reward. And what we lose very, very quickly in our society is our intrinsic reward, doing something simply because it's a pleasure to do. And that's really where our true happiness comes. That's something that can never be taken away from us, because we're not doing something for praise, for acknowledgement. We're doing it because it brings us joy. And in this time of the year, it really is a wonderful time to go within again and ask yourself that. You know, if there was nothing, if there was no reward, there was no praise, what would you do that you really loved? And often when we look at our goals, they're not aligned with our intrinsic reward. Often they're very aligned with what we've been told is right for us, what we're good at, what we've been told that we're good at, or we're pleasing our parents or our teachers or the rest of society. And when we get aligned again with our intrinsic reward, that's when life can really fire up. Because when you get in contact with that, you have more energy, you're healthier, you're more generous, because we're always more generous when we're happier. And the interesting thing is, more options are available to us when we're in this place. So very often when we're setting our goals, until we've done that inner work, until we've really dropped in, we can be doing the same old without really realizing it. So I really invite you to be curious about this and to dive in and just open that door a little bit. So you're bringing in other possibilities. You're digging a bit deeper, maybe to parts of yourself that you've forgotten about. You know, you may find yourself doing things that are actually on that list of the things that you never do, that you're not interested in, that you dismiss automatically. And it's a really beautiful journey. We're starting with some journal exercises. And if you want to pause the video now and go and do them, then that will really help you to drop into the next exercise where we get deeply into a feeling. If you'd like to go even deeper, there are other tools and techniques on the October and the November Nature's Rhythms update. So you can always go to that, go a little deeper. But if you'd like to just start now, and welcome if this is your first time, then start with a journal prompt, pause, and then come back and we'll continue with the exercise. Okay, so just imagine for a moment that a fairy godmother has landed on your bed. All your basic needs are met, and all you need to do is have fun. So what would you do with this time? And why would you do it? So just let the pen flow. What would you do? So we're starting off with doing, and then just dropping beneath that to, well, why? So that what? And what's the feeling? What's the essence? What are you getting to? Okay, so for example, say you wrote down, I want to travel. Ask yourself, so that what? Is it because you want to have fun? Is it because it really sparks your curiosity? Do you want to understand more about other cultures? Do you love meeting people? Do you want to go to somewhere really remote? And notice, are you doing this because people expect you to do that? Are you doing this so you can come back and talk about it? Just being really honest with yourself. See what comes up. If you wanted to go climb a mountain or ski or just sit quietly, what's the essence? Because we only ever do anything in order to feel something. What's that intrinsic reward? So if there's no praise, if nobody sees you doing it, what's the feeling? So pause the video now. Set your timer for 5, 10, 15 minutes and let your pen flow. And then let's come back. So just take a highlighter pen now and go back over what you've just written and highlight those core feelings. And then just spend maybe 5 or 10 minutes just free writing where those feelings come into your day-to-day life now. Do you create opportunity to have these feelings without needing to climb the mountain or go traveling? Really, how can you bring this essence into your life even more? So pause the video now and then let's come back. Okay, so welcome back, and now you've got some clarity. I'd like to build on the feeling, and the more you build that feeling and you get really familiar with it, and I really encourage you to do this on a daily basis. The more you do that, just watch how you'll notice more opportunity to bring in more of the same. And you may even find when you've created that sense and feeling and satisfaction within you, that how you're going to maintain that may change. So you may even find that your goals will change. They may not. And it's a great way to know, Am I in alignment? Do my actions align with how I want to feel and how I want to live my life? So we're going to use a really simple tool, tapping. It's also known as emotional freedom technique or energy psychology. And if you're not familiar with it, you may want to check in with the blog, the links below, that tells you in more detail what it is, why we use it, and also to go over certain points that we're going to tap on. You don't have to do that. You can just dive in with us now and have the experience. So I'd just like you to rub your hands together, and before we do anything, we want to make sure that we're really in our bodies. So however you're sitting or standing now, just take a moment to bring all your awareness to the soles of the feet. And imagine you're just placing your feet on damp earth. Feel them rooted, grounded. And just keep your eyes open and just take a look around you, being fully aware of the space you're in. Take a look at something that's red. Find the biggest green thing in your environment. And then find the smallest yellow thing. So just fully present, noticing the colours. Then notice the textures around you. Notice what it'd be like to touch and how it would feel. And then just close your eyes a moment and listen to the sounds around you. See how far you can hear. Become alert to your environment. And then drop down into your body as you open your eyes. And we're just going to tap the fingertips together. And you are going to bring to mind, as you do this, you in your element. And then bring in the karate chop points on the hands together, just tapping. Think about what you just wrote. And think about what you wanted to do. And create that sense. What is it? Is it a sense of aliveness? Of real satisfaction, a sense of belonging? And we're going to go through a simple tapping sequence. So coming to the inside of the eyebrows here, and then the outside of the eyebrows, underneath the eyes, underneath the nose, underneath the mouth, and then just underneath the collarbones, the side of the body on the rib cage about halfway down, and then at the side of the legs. And about halfway down the legs on the seam of the leg there, and then tap the top of the head. And we're going to keep repeating this. And as we do, I just want you to think about your goal and think about what you just wrote and what you do with your time. And bring the feeling in. So why would you want to do this? What's the essence? And some of the words I say may not align with what you've written. It doesn't matter. Just stay with your feeling. What does it feel like to feel really free? What is you when you're fully alive? Is it when you're at your quietest? Is it you when you're the center of attention? And if you do have an audience there, drop down inside your body and really feel. Is it the connection? Is it a true connection? Is it a positive feeling? And let it build. What is you when you're really connected, content, joyful? And as you build on this feeling, breathe it deep into your core and just keep tapping. Stay with it. How does it feel when you really laugh, really belly laugh, really let go? Build that feeling in your body. When you're carefree, vibrant, healthy. What does it feel like to have courage? Be full of hope and faith. And everything's running smoothly. When you're feeling deeply alive, deeply relaxed, and deeply content. What feelings do your body say yes to? What can you give yourself right now that brings that sense of fulfilment? Breathe deeply into your body now and take those feelings deep into the core. And just keep tapping. Think of tapping, this sense of aliveness into your body. Put a smile on your face. You can even laugh out loud. And notice how you feel. Notice how that lifts your energy, lifts your spirit. Let's take it up a notch. That sense of excitement, let it build in your body. And notice as well, there's that sense of peace that goes with that. Dropping down even deeper into this moment. And what is joy to you? Feel joy. How do you know when you're joyful? When you're happy? When you're content? And how can you bring this into your life on a daily basis? And that's what you're doing right now. We're going to do one more round. And I want you to breathe and build on this. Smile. And allow the feeling to sink deep into your core. When you finish this round, just go to stillness. So what puts you in your element? Is it a sense of faith and trust in life? Let yourself feel that. Is it a sense of courage? Is it a sense of having that assertive action to do whatever you want to do? Is it joy, inspiration? What inspires you? And just sit now knowing that you're fully in your power, in your element, and you can bring this into your body whenever you want to, whenever you choose to give yourself the time. Make a commitment to keep referring back to this feeling, particularly over this month. Whenever you set out to do anything or find yourself thinking about next year and any plans, just ask yourself, does it align with this feeling you have right now? And let this feeling sink deep into your core. And you can sit here for as long as you want to, knowing that you can come back for more whenever you want to. And just when you're ready, you could just take a deeper breath and gently open your eyes. Smile. And if you've really got that feeling now, you're really holding it. If you're feeling a bit tired or a bit unsure, this is not the time to do this. But if you've really got that feeling, tap the third eye, breathe it in, and you're tapping the energy pathway that starts and goes right the way down the nervous system. So you're tapping that habit in. Just 3 or 4 breaths here. So keep practicing. Practice and the repetition will really allow this to sink into your foundation. Because often what we do is when things go wrong that we want to make that change, or we try and scramble back to something. But if you practice this, if you create a peaceful place for yourself, give yourself this time on a daily basis, then what you'll find is this quality will be there for you to contact when you really need it. So when you do go out of balance, when you find that you're not quite in alignment, you're able to get back to it because it's something that you've practiced. It's become a skill. And a skill is something that you can do under pressure. And that's where we're really heading with all the somatic practices. So they become part of your default setting, and certainly a skill that you can rely on when you need it. So thank you for joining us. If you'd like to dive into the elements even more and get an understanding of how they affect us, not just in the seasonal cycles, but also in our daily lives, our day cycle, the cycles of the month, then please check out the link below and download our free course. We also have a free workshop coming up at the end of December, so check that out, and that will really allow us to go deeper into this work. Thank you for joining us.